Okay, let's go ahead and open up the door to our Zoom room. Hello, everybody. My name is Becca Dukes. I am the hostess of this program where we provide approximately 50 minutes of empowering information that allows you as an empowered individual to be able to gain knowledge to help you in making those choices when it comes to being your own authority when it comes to wellness. So thank you so much for joining us here. If you are here in the Zoom room with us and you would like to ask a question, make sure that you find that option to raise hand. So you might find it under reactions. It might be a raise hand button all on its own available for you. But go ahead and raise that hand early, as we will be calling on people in the order that their hands are raised and going back and forth between all of you that are out in the air. What would it be? Video waves, airwaves, social waves, watching us on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Radio Public, Amazon Music, Pocket Cast. I think there's a couple more that I don't have on that list right there. Well, we want to know where you are, and we want to know that you are out there listening. Like our channel, follow our channel, make a comment, let us know that you are there. And we have a giveaway that we are doing for those who share and like and just help us promote the message. Go to dwdgiveaway.com. That is dwdgiveaway.com. Enter your information there, and it will allow you to collect points that will go towards mini giveaways that we have going on for this month. Tomorrow is our last day for this particular giveaway, but we will continue to do additional giveaways, and I think we're going to go month to month. So help us share the message. And if you are out on, say, YouTube or Rumble or Facebook, and you write a comment, I have an amazing co-host staff who are helping us watch all of these different platforms, asking questions. If we are able to fit it into the today's show, then we will get those questions answered for you as well. But the best thing, come and join us live on Daily with Doc. Super easy, Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Just go to DailywithDocZoom.com. Now, it's not a Google search. Put it in your URL, DailywithDocZoom.com, and that domain will direct you right to our Zoom room. So again, my name is Becca Dukes. I am the hostess of this program. I am also kind of the leader of Daily with Doc, where we have an amazing team of coaches who have a heart for people and have found the benefits of nutrition that have been offered by the doctor that we host on this program each and every day. And if you are looking for a place to belong, a place to get plugged into, and really, I can't say just computer skills, folks, because if it wasn't for the computer skills of the people that I have on our team, we would not be where we are today. So I just want to say, if you've got skills that you would like to put together and use as a team in what we call advanced team building, and you also have a passion for health, and especially want to take care of yourself, then go to DailywithDoc.com, use that contact us, and let us know that you want to be involved as well. So we are using our passion, our skills, our desire to make stronger communities. And as a thank you, the company that Dr. Wallach founded gives us a check. So yes, anything and everything you do, folks, you're going to get paid for it, or you're going to pay for it. So why not be able to refer them to your own website, so that when they benefit from the referral that you give, the recommendations that you give that are based on Dr. Wallach's recommendations, you can get a thank you check. It's that simple. So without further ado, if anybody has never heard of Dr. Wallach, I want to just welcome you to 45 minutes of information that is probably going to be something that you have not heard from any other doctor that you have seen. Unless you've already found alternative medicine, naturopathic medicine, approaching health as a holistic option or approach where it realizes the body can do some amazing things when it's given the right stuff. And when it doesn't have it, decline, sickness, and disease set in and rampant, or there just goes wild, creates chaos. Well, we don't have to have that chaos. So Dr. Wallach has a Bachelor of Science. He knows all about the food, about the growing process, the soil, the plants. He's taken that into a doctorate of veterinary medicine, where he then learned about animals and well, the whole body and how it works, digestive system, everything. And then he got 3 postdoctorates in pathology, and not all on animals. In fact, he's got over 7, I don't know the number exactly, but he's going to let us know, on human autopsies also, where then he became a naturopathic physician so that he could take his research, take the formulas that he put together, that even at an early age, he realized the benefits of minerals and how they are the currency of life, and became a naturopathic physician after teaching nutrition at that same college. So folks, it is my honor and privilege to Joel Wallach. Welcome, Dr. Wallach.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and thank you, team. We are always excited to be here for the world, and it's very heartwarming to get the information out there and relieve an enormous amount of unnecessary misery and save a lot of lives. So thank you for all the teamwork, because it takes teamwork to handle the world.
Yes, it does.
Well, today we want to talk about blood sugar issues. Okay, we want to talk about sugar issues. And there's 3 blood sugar issues. Type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98 to 99% of the diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And then there's type 1 diabetes, which is a birth defect. Mothers are missing things when the baby's pancreas are being formed, and the islets of Langerhans and so forth. So the baby's born, instead of having 500 cells in each islet of Langerhans. And so the baby's born with type 1 diabetes. Okay, it's totally different than type 2. Okay, but it's a birth defect. It's not genetic, but it's a birth defect because mom was deficient in these nutrients during the formation of the pancreas and the islets of Langerhans. And then number 3 is reactive hypoglycemia. Most people don't pay much attention to that, reactive hypoglycemia, but it's a very dangerous disease. And just the name gives it away, reactive hypoglycemia. What's it reacting to? Well, when you eat a big meal with lots of carbohydrates, if all your biochemistry is not correct, it's going to knock your blood sugar down. And people say, oh yeah, if I eat a big meal, an hour later, I go to sleep. And so we have to watch it. I want to be home before I fall asleep. Okay. That's because the body's releasing an enormous amount of insulin when you have reactive hypoglycemia, when you eat a big meal, especially with carbohydrates in it. And it releases that insulin and knocks your blood sugar down. And so many accidents, people are driving on the highway and they fall asleep, they're falling asleep and so on. And these reactive hypoglycemia is easy to deal with. Type 2 diabetes is easy to deal with. Type 1 diabetes is easy to deal with, but it's not something that you can, what should I say, fix forever. You have to really be on it every day, okay, so that you don't have a problem, because it's a birth defect. So there's something missing in the puzzle, okay? And we have a product. Well, let's see here. Our program, of course, is a Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. That's our big hammer. We do have the original Healthy Start Pack, which has the 90 essential nutrients, including the nutrients necessary to do the best you can do for your blood sugar issues. Okay, and when you have, see, the 90 essential nutrients of type 2 diabetes in your family, and doctors will say, well, it's a genetic thing. You have 5 or 6 people in your family with it. You're going to get it too if you don't have it already. That's nonsense. Okay, when they don't know what's going on, they blame it on your family's genetics, especially if 3 or 4 or 5 other people in your family have a history of that disease, including diabetes. So we have called the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. The Healthy Blood Sugar is a Healthy Start Pack. We have a product called Sweeties, okay? And the Sweeties has the nutrients in there that are necessary to give the insulin what it needs so it works properly, okay? And so I only weigh 142 pounds, and I take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month. That's our big hammer, 215 nutrients. But I also take other nutrients, and not that I need them, but I take them for prevention. And I also take 3 of the Sweeties, a minimum of twice a day, depending on what meals I'm going to have. Sometimes I'll take the Sweeties three times a day, but a minimum of 3 twice a day, plus what's in Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. And type 2 diabetes, just type 2 diabetes each year in America, we spend $342 billion. Okay, that's the 3rd largest expenditure in healthcare, okay, is $342 billion we spend just to treat the symptoms of type 2 diabetes, not to prevent it, not to cure it, okay, but just to treat the symptoms. Okay, that's the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack when you have it. And of course, you take your blood sugar, and as your blood sugar drops, you can slowly reduce your prescription medication. And usually within 2 to 6 weeks, you won't need the medication. But don't cold turkey off the medication when you start a program, because it takes a couple of weeks. I always say, give me 90 days. We take people, that have been, on prescription drugs for type 2 diabetes forever. But forever, I mean 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And in 2 to 6 weeks, it's fine. Okay, but don't cold turkey. If your blood sugar begins to drop, you can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. And type 1 diabetes, I get calls and people say, well, I was just diagnosed by my doctor with type 1 diabetes. I said, how old are you? I'm 64 years old. Well, when were you diagnosed? Well, yesterday. Never had diabetes before? No. Okay. And he said, I have type 1 diabetes because I'm not responding to the medication. Well, are you taking oral medication or injectable? Well, I'm taking oral medication. Well, what do you eat for breakfast every morning? Oh, I have buckwheat pancakes now. What do you have for lunch? I have spaghetti. What do you have for dinner time? Oh, I have pizza. Okay, all that gluten you're eating is killing the lining of your intestines, so your oral medication is not being absorbed, and that's why you're having this lack of response to the medications, okay? So this is not difficult. Type 1 diabetes is not a genetic thing. Okay, it's not something you get when you're 60 years old. You're born with it because mama was missing stuff when the islets of Langerhans of the embryo. Okay, so don't get fooled on that one. And then the reactive hypoglycemia. Okay, this is something where you have to make sure that you are getting all your 90 essential nutrients and you're taking them every day, including these nutrients in the Sweeties. And you won't fall asleep an hour after you have a big meal with carbohydrates in there, okay? This is very simple stuff. And it's not genetic, it's not autoimmune, very simple nutritional deficiency somewhere along the line, either as an embryo or after you're born. And as a result, it's easy to prevent, it's easy to actually relieve and eliminate. Okay, with that, I want to remind everybody that this is something that you can talk about in your workplace, your church or temple, with your family, with your neighbors, because this is something that as a longevity associate, you can actually, what should I say, help your community. The other day, in a related kind of thing, we have a guy who's been with for a long time, has a heart issue, and he's not going down the trail of everybody with that same heart issue. He's stable, actually getting better continuously all the time. And the doctors want to know what he was taking. So he brings a big bag full of stuff. And the doctors want to take it to the lab and find out what's in everything. All he had to do is read the label. Because it's listed on the label. But they're freaking out because this guy was not going down the same trail as everybody else. And so we do this, okay, with over 600 different diseases. We have programs for 600 different diseases, all right? And we actually have 3,000 products 3,000 products that are designed to prevent and reverse nutritional deficiencies, including Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, obesity, skin problems, cancer, high blood pressure, multiple sclerosis, asthma, kidney dialysis, a small number of the various issues that we deal with. You know, there's at least 8 or 10 different you get in the brain. Okay, and one of which, of course, is the reactive hypoglycemia. And so it's one of those things where this is easily managed and reversed. So it's not something you're going to pass on to your kids because it's not a genetic thing. And that should be, that alone, that information alone, where you say that it's not genetic, I'm not going to pass this on to my kids or my grandkids or my great-grandkids. And we can make people's lives safer. They're not going to fall asleep when they're driving. And we can help people who have type 1 diabetes have normal babies because it's not a genetic thing or an autoimmune thing. And so the babies can all be born normal, even though they have type 1 diabetes. Okay, it's not a genetic thing. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Becca.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And on that note, when we're talking about babies and genetics and all the different things that not to have babies because of, Dr. Wallach, can you think of any case where somebody absolutely should not have a child as long as they're doing the right supplementation program? I mean, there might be a
if you have rabies, I wouldn't have a kid.
Okay, so rabies is something that you obviously know and probably
it's a terrible virus disease. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Because I have somebody that's been told they can't have, they should not have children because of a mutated gene. And
okay,
I mean,
what does that mean? What disease do they have? Mutated gene. That translates in English to I don't know what you got, so I'm going to blame it on your genetics.
So the fact that they can't have children, it's because the doctor can't figure it out.
That's correct.
And we already know from talking with this individual, the diet is just not there. Calorie intake, because of the culture, they're afraid that women should not be over 100 pounds. So their diet is almost nothing. I just can't imagine, Dr. Wallach. Of course, that would not sustain life, whether it's the mama or the baby.
Okay, now let me stop you there. Is this a faith or religion? Is this a country? Or is this a culture? What are we talking about?
It's an Asian culture. I don't know as far as religion goes, but it is Asian culture.
Okay, now here's the interesting thing about Asian cultures.
Specific.
They occur all over the place. And you can have an Asian culture living in a place that has no minerals in the soil, and they'll have all these diseases. You take those people and put them in another location or supplement them, and they don't get those diseases anymore, and you can reverse many of those diseases. Okay, so we have some work to do. And of course, this is why we've written all these books. We have this flip chart coming out here real soon. And I like to talk about this book, Hell's Kitchen, because for 3,000 to 5,000 years, we were getting minerals, okay, because as a supplement, because people were using wood and coal as fuel, okay, and they were putting wood ashes and coal ashes into their food as a spice because it spiced up the taste of their food, but also putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into their gardens, okay, and the plants would suck them up and they'd get bigger yields. I mean, they could see, oh my gosh, the peppers and the onions and the tomatoes are bigger and more of them. So they kept putting the wood ashes and coal ashes into the gardens. But what they did not know 3,000 to 5,000 years ago was the plants were also sucking up those minerals. And when you ate the vegetables and fruit and things and berries and whatnot, and beans were growing in those gardens and in the fields, okay, they were being fertilized with the wood ashes and coal ashes, minerals. When you ate those foods, you got the minerals. This is why people knew back 3,000 years ago plus the land flowing with milk and honey. There were places on Earth where people lived a long time. That's because they were getting the minerals. Okay, and this book, Hell's Kitchen, goes into the story, and this went on. The whole world, human beings all over the world, had the opportunity, the access to get these 90 essential nutrients, including the minerals, because they were using wood and coal as fuel, using the wood ashes and coal ashes in their food and in their gardens, getting the minerals that way. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street in New York City, in the bluff overlooking the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, Thomas Edison pulled the switch. And within 18 years, by the 1900 came along, suddenly now, all over the world, because people had been grabbing on, there were just 50 new diseases that people never seen before. They were just simple nutritional deficiency diseases. The entire world crashed. Okay, now we still have the land flowing with milk and honey. Where the one that's the big one is Hunza in the Himalayan mountains. Okay, where every spring the glaciers are melting and grinding up the rocks up at the top of the mountains, and the water coming down in the streams and the creeks from the top of the mountains down into the valleys where the Hunzas live looked like milk, just like in the old Bible days, 3,000 years ago. Okay, glacial milk. But they didn't know. I wanted to know. I wanted to know what kind of milk was it? Was it cow's milk? Was it goat's milk? Was it sheep's milk? Was it camel milk? No, it was glacial milk. And of course, Dr. Milan and I, we went to China. We did 1,700 autopsies on kids under the age of 12. And that study, entire book, Rare Earths Been Cures. There's a chapter 10. It's called Glacial Milk. Okay, Glacial Milk, chapter 10. This whole book is based on that study we did in China. Now, it was published in a scientific journal. You can go in my book, Epigenetics, and that publication is listed in the back of the book, where you put everybody's name who are contributors and authors into the information in the book. And when you read mine, it has all the information, so you can see that study was published. Well, it's in the references, it's very easy, because I have about 8 or 10 references in the back of this book, Epigenetics. But the one that has 5 co-authors that are Chinese, that's the one, because it's published in Chinese and English, that work with 1,700 autopsies. And this helped us get rid of let's see here, was one of the most terrible birth defects, okay? And we're talking about, well, what?
Was it muscular dystrophy that you were thinking
No,
of?
the one before that.
Cystic fibrosis.
Cystic fibrosis, right? CF, cystic fibrosis. Okay, I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis, tracked it down, and sure enough, it's in the book Epigenetics. We started a new science called Epigenetics, and that's me with a monkey from the Yerkes Primate Center, the space monkeys. Told all the experts I want to give a presentation because I found the first non-human case of cystic fibrosis. They fired me because I told them it wasn't genetic, because it's a simple nutritional deficiency disease. I could fill up a complete colony of baby monkeys with cystic fibrosis if they wanted. So we got rid of cystic fibrosis. Then we also worked with Jerry Lewis, got rid of muscular dystrophy. They fired Muscular Dystrophy Association, fired Jerry Lewis. I mean, summarily, they just fired him and put a gag order on him so he couldn't tell the world that we had found the cause, prevention, and cure of muscular dystrophy. He also, let's see, on the muscular dystrophy thing, the next day, they shut down his telethon. Okay, this group of the Muscular Dystrophy Association shut down Jerry Lewis's telethon. There were 46 years, had raised $2.6 billion for them in their research. And then as a side effect, we didn't anticipate it, but as a side effect, we also got rid of sudden death syndrome, which doctors were saying were caused by mothers laying on the babies and suffocating them. It was just a simple nutritional deficiencies, and babies are dying of heart attacks when they're 3 months old. Okay, they're dying of heart attacks when they're 3 months old.
An organization reading my functure, evidence is brought to them that it's a nutritional deficiency, and it can be used to help these kids
recover and heal.
And heal. and they pulled the plug on it.
Yes.
They did a gag order.
Jerry Lewis, they did a gag order, okay, and they also shut down his telethon the next day. They put the gag order on him and fired him September 4th, 2011. September 5th, 2011, they shut down his telethon. Well, fortunately, we were on it, and Jerry Lewis, we were on the phone with him almost every day. We have a Navy SEAL, Marvin Ropp, who was working with me day and night on this. He was really into it. And we had so many communications, okay? We were so proud we were able to save so many kids, and Jerry Lewis knew that we have saved them because of his efforts. It was a joint effort because we couldn't get that information to people without him. We couldn't get the nutrients to people without him, okay? And the story, of course, is in the book Epigenetics. The book is in this, the stories in the book Rare and Cures. The book is, the stories in the book The Wallach Revolution. There you go. And it's a story. The story is also in this new book we have coming out. It's a flip chart, which you're working on very hard. And this flip chart can be available in the next, what, you think, a month or so?
Yeah, we're hoping by let's see, it September 1st is, we'll say by October 1st.
Okay, we're very excited about that because it goes into 75 years, okay, of finding the causes, prevention, and cures for all these diseases. We're talking about, I don't know, 25 or so diseases are in this flip chart. And there's color pictures of me with many of these famous people who had the disease, or their family had the diseases, or they were like Jerry Lewis, were associated with some association with those diseases. And sort of so, and it's set up in such a way that somebody with even a 6th grade reading level can use this to give a presentation to a group in their home or their office meeting room, or in a big event with 2,000 people in an auditorium, if they have the equipment to take it from that flip chart and put it on the screen. And we are going to end all these diseases, and people with a 6th grade reading level will be able to give a presentation that's the equivalent of a presentation of a PhD and a medical doctor. So we're very, very proud of this tool. I know Rebecca has been working on this day and night. And so we have a great thanks to her for all the stuff that she's done with this particular tool. Thank you, Rebecca.
You're welcome. And I love the fact, Dr. Wallach, that there is a focus on osteoporosis skull and osteoporosis of the skull because of all the symptoms that are associated with nutritional deficiency, folks. 100% nutritional deficiency. Now, if you have a deficiency, can you correct that?
Of course.
Absolutely. Depending on the damage done will determine how much the body can do to bounce back. But folks, as Dr. Wallach is showing now osteoporosis of the skull, his favorite page that shows the skull itself. You want to tell us about this, Doc?
Yeah, well, that top skull is autopsy. The top of the skull has been removed. We're looking down on the brain, and you see the skull is only a 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, the second skull below that is also an autopsy. The top of the skull has been removed. You're looking down on the brain. You'll notice that the skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. That's because it's not bone, it's actually scar tissue. And this connective tissue is squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, is squeezing the spinal cord. And there's, in this book, there's 12 chapters. There's 12 chapters. And each chapter coincides with, and you can go in a couple of pages, you'll see, there you go. There's 12 chapters, one chapter for each of the cranial nerves. And all the disease, some of the cranial nerves, when they get squeezed, get 3 and 4 and 5 and 8 diseases. And doctors would send you to specialists or classmates, all this kind of stuff. And they say, well, we really don't know what's causing this, but we do have something, you know, that we can treat some of the symptoms and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if we have stuff going on with the 8th cranial nerve and you have hearing problems and everything, they give you hearing aids. That's because the skull is squeezing that 8th cranial nerve, okay? And so, I mean, the 9th cranial nerve gets squeezed, your voice changes, you can't swallow stuff. And they give you G tubes so you can swallow through the G tube. And really, that's not the problem, okay? And
Not at
so,
all.
say
Well,
again?
I didn't mean to cut you off, Dr. Wallach, but that's definitely not the problem. And we have hands up and lots of questions.
Okay.
So let's try to get to some questions, okay? And folks,
Okay.
if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, please make sure that you get back with them. They took the time and cared enough about you to share this program because they knew you would find some value in this information, and that the information shared may even flip a switch to saying, you know what, I haven't tried that. I've tried everything else and I haven't tried that. That's my story. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. If there's nobody to thank, then you are more than welcome to go to our website, DailywithDoc.com. We do have contact us connected with one of our certified holistic health coaches. But again, that's only for those that have never purchased product and have not already spoken to anybody about longevity or Dr. Wallach. So Dr. Wallach, let's go to the first hand that is up. And Renee, go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome to Daily with Doc.
Hi, Doc.
Hi.
I have a mother that is not, she thinks I'm crazy following your protocol, but I'm kind of worried about her because she's 80 years old now. Don't tell her I told you how old she is. And she's probably 175 pounds.
Okay.
And my problem that I'm worried about is if anything touches her, she bruises very easily. And the doctors have done a whole bunch of blood tests on her, and they said she's okay. But
All right. Well, it doesn't sound like she's okay if you just kind of grab her by the arm and she gets, bleeding under her
no,
skin.
she looks like she's been beaten up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. 175 pounds. She's get rid of all the bad foods so she can maximize absorption and utilize these nutrients. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats. For salad dressings, use lemon juice and yogurt and that kind of stuff. No oils. No gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin. Okay. And then no buckwheat. Buckwheat, okay, it doesn't have any gluten in it, but it has phago, F-A-G-O pyrines, which are 10 times worse than gluten, destroy the lining of your intestines so you can't efficiently absorb. Sugar and no carbonated drinks. We're talking about diet drinks and also carbonated water, because the carbonation neutralizes stomach acid so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. Now, with all that said, now she's prepared at 175 pounds. Ideally, she would take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I only weigh 142, and I take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Take a full dose twice a day. That's give her what she needs, and if she's getting rid of all the bad stuff, and within a week or 10 days, she'll begin to absorb this stuff. So don't expect something to happen overnight, but within a couple of weeks, you should start seeing some progress. Okay, and then she also needs the let's see here. I'd have her get the MSM. She needs 2 bottles of our MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, discs between vertebrae, bone, mixed bone, cell, and all that includes the bone matrix. We're talking about white blood cells, platelets, antibodies, all that kind of stuff. Very important here. And then she also needs let's see here, I'd have her get the hair, skin, and nails. Get 2 bottles a month. They're small little bottles. Take 3 twice a day, the hair, skin, and nails. And that's also going to give her things that she needs to have her skin respond properly to somebody grabbing her by the arm to help her up the steps or out of the car or something like that. But these are very simple nutritional deficiency disease symptoms. And get rid of this bad food so you can absorb the nutrition, take the nutrition. I would say, give me 90 days, and you're going to see within weeks, you'll start seeing some benefit. And so depending on how passionate you are about doing everything right, you can go quicker than that. Okay.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right. Thank you, Renee. So Dr. Wallach, making sure that arteries and the skin and all that connective tissue is strong to keep the blood where it's supposed to be is important, right?
That's correct.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go right over to Sherry, who has her hand up for some people. And Sherry.
Thank you. Yes, this is for a 72-year-old female. She weighs 178 pounds. She was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 25 years ago. She didn't really have any symptoms until, she doesn't say recently, but she said now she's having symptoms of right leg weakness, burning, and stiffness. What can she do?
Okay. Well, when you're talking about multiple sclerosis, correct?
Right.
Okay, well, multiple sclerosis and Guillain-Barré syndrome is a spinal cord form of multiple sclerosis. It's a very simple disease. It's one of many diseases that have the same pathology, including Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Lou Gehrig's disease. They all have the same pathology, okay, as MS. Now, what is that pathology? Well, she's losing the white matter of the brain, the myelin, okay? And so they all have the same pathology. It depends on what part of the brain seriously damaged, what she gets. Okay, but it's all the same disease. So in this case, she needs to take her body weight. We have what, 178 pounds, something like that, right? Okay.
That's correct.
Yeah, she needs to take, get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And the dot drinks got to go. Then absolutely, I want her to have the, let's see here. I want her all packs per month, the full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles a month of the MSMs, and take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. She's a collagen peptide, so she can take a scoop of that with her morning drink, scoop with her evening drink. And then very specifically for rebuilding the myelin, white matter of the brain, I want her to have 2 bottles a month of Synaptive, so she can take 3 of those twice a day or 3 times a day, whatever she wants to do. That's going to help the brain cells talk to each other. The brain cells talk to spinal cord cells talk to each other and to talk to the brain cells. And very specifically to rebuild the white matter of the brain, okay, we have the I-26. She needs 3 servings a day. I like the chewables. I like the French vanilla. They're very soft, mushy chewables. They also come in addition to the French vanilla. They also come in banana coconut. We also have the capsules and the powder. But I like to take 2 of those, the chewables, 2 of the chewables 3 times a day. The French vanilla, that's my favorite. It says right on the label, gives you 1 serving gives you 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. What? My doctor doesn't want me to have cholesterol. It plugs your arteries. No, that's not true. That's misinformation. Cholesterol makes up 95% of your hormones, whether you're a woman and you need estrogen, or a man, you need testosterone. But it also makes up like 50% of your brain and your spinal cord. And when you give up cholesterol and you're eating gluten, even if you were eating some cholesterol, you couldn't absorb it because your intestines are damaged, okay, then you're going to get these diseases. Alzheimer's disease, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré syndrome, Parkinson's disease, FTD, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, aka also known as mad cow disease, Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease, ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, Lou Gehrig's disease. These are all caused by, and the reason why different specific things pop up is that dramatically affected. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You bet. This is easily reversed.
All right, you, Sherry. Let's move right over to Phyllis, Dr. Wallach. Phyllis, what questions do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Hello, Doc. I have several questions, and we got one from Facebook. We have one from YouTube. I have one from a client, myself, and it's always good to see you, by the way.
Well, thank you. Good to see you too.
Thank you. We'll power through this then. My client, Jim, is 66, 6'7", 200 pounds. He had a prior brain trauma due to a car accident decades ago. And he has a history of excellent health, except he's gluten-free. He follows the good foods regimen. He contracted that virus that was going around a few years ago. And since then, he's been diagnosed with a dopamine deficiency and is experiencing chronic anxiety. He's on medication for the dopamine, anxiety, and asthma.
Okay, and he's 200 pounds.
Yes, he's quite thin right now. He's lost weight, actually.
Okay, he needs to get rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, including the diet ones and also the carbonated water. And you see he weighed 200 pounds, about, give or take, correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose everything twice a day. He needs to also take 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner to help support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective brain bone, makes a bone cell. Then he needs the synaptives, so his brain cells can talk to each other in the spinal cord. He needs the 26 so he can rebuild the myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord, and also the peripheral nerves, all the myelin, the insulation material on the outside of the big nerves are made from this myelin also. And then the asthma, he can also take extra of the EFAs and EFA pluses. With 2 healthy brain and heart packs, he's going to have 3 of the EFAs, okay, and 3 of the EFA pluses twice a day. I do that. I only weigh 42 pounds.
Doc, could I break in? I forgot to mention very important detail. He is having trouble urinating, and he cannot empty his bladder. And right now he actually needs to use a catheter at home. So
Okay.
bear with me. I forgot to throw that in.
Okay. Does he have any other issues like tonight, wheelchair?
Not, I believe no. Only
No.
the asthma and the anxiety and the dopamine issue.
And the pee problem.
Right. And that's the most serious one right now.
Okay. Well, this can be caused by the skull squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord going to sleep and not telling the urinary bladder to urinate. Okay, because the spinal cord gives you the nerves to control your urinary bladder. So he could have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, so that's the formula we gave him will deal with osteoporosis of the skull. And so let's go there. Let's see here.
Doc, what was it you said would help deal with the osteoporosis?
Well, everything I said.
Healthy
Okay,
brain
you
and
have a
heart.
brain and heart pack, all right?
I've got the MSM, I've got the synaptive, and be sure
collagen
collagen.
Yeah, take a
Yes.
scoop of that with his morning drinks with the evening drink. Okay, and then I want him to have for his kidneys. Okay, I want his kidneys to be working here. He needs to be taking the let's see here, for the kidneys. I want him to have our ultimate daily classic catalyst. Get 2 bottles a month of that, so he could take 3 twice a day. That's going to help him with urination. Okay.
Perfect. All right. Our second question is from YouTube. And this is Aaliyah asking about a woman, 75, 138 pounds, 5'2". She has spinal degeneration, disc bites, high blood pressure, thyroid goiter, high cholesterol, has had a cornea transplant and cataract surgery. Also has nephrology of 1 kidney. What happened recently? She suddenly awakened with a severe headache. Her body felt very heavy. She cannot move very well, has memory loss, cannot talk past hospital, did tests, everything came out normal, and she gets up to urinate once a night.
Okay. And you say she weighs how much? 175 pounds?
138 pounds, 5'2".
138 pounds. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, she needs to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and also the carbonated water. And then at 138 pounds, I want her, she's right on that cusp, but she's got some serious problems here. So I want her to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose of thing twice a day. want to have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and dinner time to help support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. We want her to take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 2 of those bottles a month, so you can take 3 twice a day. That's going to help her support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain and the heart and the kidneys, the legs, every place, blood pressure. All right. And then, let's see, don't cold turkey off of any blood pressure medication, but as the blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Let's see here. Also, we want her to take the Synaptive. She can take 3 of those twice a day, be 2 bottles a month, so the brain cells can talk to the spinal cord cells. We also want her to have her I-26. She needs to take 3 servings a day. It could be the capsules, the powder, or the chewables. I like the chewables. I take the French vanilla ones 2 or 3 times a day. And that's going to help with the brain and the spinal cord do their job of telling all the various things down line, so to speak, what to do. Okay, so let's start there.
All right, and then we have a quick one from Tanisha on Facebook asking a general question about inflammation. I imagine, can you help? And real quick, because I know we have some more questions from other people. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just got the name Tanisha. I didn't get a question.
Right, inflammation. She wants to know what causes it, what can we do about it? A general question.
Okay, well, inflammation, that's a pretty general question, but inflammation is a word for swelling, pain, things going wrong. It could be in muscles, it could be in your heart, it could be in your brain, it could be in your spinal cord, it could be in your kidneys, it could be in your liver, okay, it could be anywhere. And so this is a case where they need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no sugar, no buckwheat, absolutely no carbonated drinks. The diet drink's got to go, and carbonated water, so it's going to absorb minerals and digest food. And then, let's see here, weight 100 and what?
We don't have a weight.
Okay,
just
well,
a general
let's go
question.
by 100 pounds. Let's go by 100 pounds body weight. Per 100 pounds of body weight, she needs 1 healthy brain and heart pack. She only weighs 110 pounds, be 1 healthy brain and heart pack, take a half a dose of everything twice a day. If she weighs 135, 140 pounds, I'd go with 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, take a full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. She can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes bone itself. And then for the inflammation, she also needs the collagen peptides, so she can take a scoop of that with her morning drinks, with the evening drink. She can also put our CM cream on joints, whether it's her neck or her shoulders or her elbows, her wrists, her fingers, her back, her hips, her knees, her toes, on her temples. And she needs to get a whole, you know how many times she wakes up at night to urinate? Do you know that?
No.
It's just a general question, Doc, as far as inflammation, what would be the cause of it? So,
well, it could be just the lack of nutrients, so that all tissues are not there. Let's say you don't have all the tissues that are necessary for happy skin. You don't have all the nutrients necessary for happy cartilage. And so the unhealthy cartilage rubbing together on the joint is inflammatory. Same with your skin. Your skin, just even the air can be inflammatory with your skin if you don't have all the raw materials for your skin to maintain itself. Inflammation is a very broad term, okay? Like
a rash.
balance. Or yeah, well, it could be a rash in your skin, but it also can be going on inside your body, where your joints are not happy because they're not getting what they need to maintain themselves, and so the unhealthy bones rubbing on each other cause inflammation. You get things a day, okay? And if the liver is missing one nutrient, it can cause inflammation of the liver and make the entire body unhealthy. And the doctors want to take out your gallbladder and all this, that, and the other. When really, just taking one nutrient would help. But I don't like to just take one nutrient, because you need all 90. Okay, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 minerals, and 3 fatty acids. And if finances are an issue, and you don't want to spend the money for the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, we'll get the Healthy Start Pack. And don't forget the book, Hell's Kitchen. You need to read that book, Hell's Kitchen, and that tells you why. That tells you why you must consciously, proactively supplement with all the 90 essential nutrients. You cannot get it from your food. Any doctor who says just eat well, you can get everything you need from your food should have their licenses suspended, and they should go back to school for a year and just study nutrition, okay? And because when they say just eat well, you can get everything you need, that is absolutely positively false. An enormous amount of unnecessary misery in the human family. It creates an enormous amount of financial loss. And it's just, to say you can get everything you need just by eating well, this book, Hell's Kitchen, goes into the 3,000 to 5,000 years we're using wood and coal as fuel. We got our minerals from the wood ashes and coal ashes put in our gardens, put in our food. And once we went to electricity, all that went away. Okay.
All right, Doc, I know that you've got to get going. Can we squeeze one more question in?
Let's try squeezing one more.
All right. Deborah, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. I'll be quick. My son has needs a root canal. He has an infection in his tooth. That's what the dentist is saying. 8 feet, 128 pounds, and he's 40 years old.
128 pounds?
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's slim. Okay. And what's his main complaint again?
That he has an infection in his tooth, and the dentist wants to do a root canal.
Okay, well, it doesn't hurt to go visit another dentist at the other end of town that doesn't know the guy that's saying he needs a root canal. He may or may not, but get another opinion. Never hurts to get another opinion. And then at 128 pounds, wanted to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, no buckwheat. Even the diet drinks got to go, and the carbonated water got to go. And then I want him to have one healthy brain and heart pack a month, a half a dose of everything twice a day. 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so you can take 3 twice a day of the MSM to help rebuild cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, collagen peptides. A scoop of that with his morning drink, a scoop with his evening drink. That'll be 2 of those little canisters per month. That's going to help rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then the tooth issue, we have to see what's going on there, but he may also have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, anytime you have things going on with your teeth, you need to look at, do I have osteoporosis of the skull? You can find out without radiation. You get an MRI, it's a magnetic resonance imaging, okay, and find out if you have osteoporosis of the skull. But it doesn't hurt to get a hold of that book and CD set. It's all in your head because there's 37 different diseases you can get when you have osteoporosis of the skull, including dental issues, receding gums, all those kind of things, okay, which are due to osteoporosis of the skull. So that's something you need to know. Just taking care of that tooth is not going to fix the osteoporosis of the skull. And then sixthly, major tragic event, which you could have avoided if you knew you had osteoporosis of the skull, okay?
Yes, I believe he does have osteoporosis of the skull.
Yeah, that's very common. Babies are born with this, not something you get when you're 80 years old. This is something you can be born with, okay?
All right, thanks, Doc.
You bet.
Thank you. And Dr. Wallach, thank you for being here with us, taking a couple extra minutes to get that last question in. You are amazing, and we definitely appreciate you greatly, Dr. Wallach. Have a fabulous day.
Thank you, team. We appreciate it. We're family, and we're going to stick together for a couple of 100 years. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Bye for now. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us here. I know we didn't get to all of the questions, and we did have a quick little question that I can answer. The difference between hypoglycemia and hyperglycemia has to do with the blood levels or the sugar levels in blood. So hypo is low blood sugar, hyper is too much blood sugar. So that is one question I wanted to get to. For those of you who have questions, please use our channels, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or even our website, and use that search option and look for the specific condition that you are looking for answers for, solutions. Dr. Wallach gives solutions, folks, and it does start with the foundation of nutrition. And it's amazing, like Coach Rod said out on YouTube, that how general nutrition can stop so many other issues. It's absolutely true. Dr. Wallach had mentioned that, you know, you don't have to be 80 years old to be diagnosed or have osteoporosis of the skull. It can happen when you're born. I know I was getting symptoms as early as 8 years old. Well, before that, that's just when I started complaining. So, folks, it's never too late to start. Get those children on the nutrition. Thinking about conception or having a family, starting a family. For some, you never know when that's going to start, but get them on the nutrition so that we together can start having healthier communities around the world. If I could get my co-hosts on the screen with me, I would greatly appreciate it, because I could not do this without them. As I'm making sure that Dr. Wallach is spotlighted and the people come on screen at the right time, go off screen at the right time, get unmuted. They are doing everything else, including monitoring and bringing those questions in from the different platforms. So I just want to thank Sherry and Phyllis for doing that today and presenting questions, for putting AJ and Coach Rod for putting those questions in the chat here, so don't miss anything. But again, full show, lots of great questions, and Dr. Wallach doesn't want to cut anybody short on time and making sure that they have the information that they need to actually get results. Now, his protocols are optimal protocols. I know that some people need to have something scaled back a little bit. Make sure that you get with your coach, the person that you are working with, your associate, and say, okay, Dr. Wallach gave this recommendation. This is what my budget is. What can you do to help me meet that budget? Because my health is important and I do want to invest in myself. Now, if you don't have somebody that you're working with, we invite you to give us a call. We do have a team that's standing by at 855-949-3377. Again, that's 855-949-3377. Using email, go to our website, DailywithDoc.com. Use that contact option, but most importantly, make sure that you are signed up for our newsletter, which is available to everybody. We'll find the sign up on the website for the newsletter at DailywithDoc.com. And Marilyn and her fingers, my goodness, I'm gonna have to invest in something just as a preventative to keep those fingers going, because she does such an amazing job here in the chat. And Phyllis also, both of them very, very skilled in typing and dictation and communicating what Dr. Wallach is saying in that chat so that they can take screenshots. Folks, you can take screenshots of what is being recommended, take it and know exactly what it is that Dr. Wallach would recommend for yourself or an individual who is experiencing symptoms similar to what you're experiencing, or someone you love. And then we have Albert. I'm not going to forget Albert, because he's like here in the middle of the night with us down in South Africa, helping to let people in, helping to monitor and learn, because he has such a heart for people. He wants to help people in his neck of the woods as well. And folks, again, if you want to help people in your neck of the woods, and together we are strengthening communities so that around the world we are healthier all together as one family, get with the person that shared this program with you. If there's nobody to thank, give us a call, 855-949-3377. Let us know that you want to be involved as well. or use our website. We also have a store on. If you know what your Youngevity preferred customer number and password are, you're welcome to use that store. If you have never worked with anybody before, you're also welcome to use that store. But otherwise, we want to make sure that you get back to the person that shared this program with you, because they are part of an amazing community that we are a resource here to support in getting Dr. Wallach's recommendations based on his research in your hands. So until next time, bye for now.